Okay, we are diving straight into one of history's biggest plot twists,
Hmm.
humanism.
Right.
And this wasn't just some, dusty old philosophy.
Mm.
It was this massive cultural and intellectual movement starting in the Renaissance that completely changed how people saw themselves.
It's a huge shift. I mean, think about it. For centuries before this, life was mostly focused on religion, on preparing for the afterlife.
Right.
Humanism just flips that script. It says, hey, let's focus on this life here on Earth. Let's celebrate what human beings can actually do, their value, their potential.
So our mission today is to give you the key facts. We want to understand how this one movement became like the blueprint for his modern art, for science, and even for how you think about yourself as an individual.
Exactly. And to get it, you have to know where they got their inspiration. The humanists, they looked backward to find the way forward.
Backward, how so?
They looked back thousands of years to the ancient works of Greece and Rome. They were convinced that all this forgotten wisdom held the key to unlocking human potential.
So they were digging up old ideas to create something new.
Pretty much. And the core belief they found was, for the time, completely radical.
Which was?
The idea that humans, you, me, everyone, we aren't just passive. We have the power, through education and reason, to actually shape our own lives.
This is not just about fate anymore.
Not at all. It was this huge boost of confidence for people. The message was that every single person has worth, has dignity, just because they're human.
And so your talents, your achievements, they were suddenly something to celebrate.
Yes. Whether you were a painter, a scientist, a writer, your individual skills mattered.
That is such a crucial pivot, because before this, your life was pretty much decided the second you were born.
Oh, absolutely. If your father was a farmer, you were going to be a farmer. End of story. Status was inherited, not earned.
Hard to imagine.
Well, just picture it. You're told you have to do the same job as your great-grandfather, even if you have totally different dreams or skills.
Humanism just shattered that.
It did. It introduced this idea of personal merit.
Personal merit.
It's the idea that with hard work, with study, anyone could rise up and take control of their own future.
And that feeling, that's what we call agency, isn't it? The power to act for yourself.
That's it exactly. Humanism told people that their own intelligence, their own efforts, were the real engines of change. It was sort of the birth of the self-made person.
Okay, so if the goal is to shape your own destiny, how do you do it? What's the tool?
For the humanists, the number one tool, without a doubt, was education.
But not just learning facts to pass a test.
No, it was much deeper. They believed a proper education actually improved your character. It made you a better, wiser, more ethical person.
So they weren't just training students, they were trying to build better humans.
To do that, they focused on what we now call the humanities. Things like grammar to understand language, history, so you can learn from the past, and maybe most important of all, rhetoric.
Rhetoric. We hear that word, but what did it really mean to them?
It was the art of clear speech, of persuasion. I mean, you can have the best ideas in the world, but if you can't explain them or convince people to listen...
They just die.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Rhetoric was the skill you needed to be an active citizen.
And the teaching itself changed, right? They didn't just lecture at people.
Right. They founded all these new schools, but the key difference was they moved away from rote memorization.
Just repeating things back without understanding them.
Yes. The old way was, here's the answer, now memorize it. The humanist way was, here's a text, let's question it, let's challenge it. They were teaching students how to think.
And to do that, they needed stuff to think about.
Which sent them on a quest. I mean, humanist scholars basically became the world's first intellectual treasure hunters.
Wow.
They'd search through old monasteries, forgotten libraries, looking for lost manuscripts.
Like what?
Oh, imagine finding a text by Plato that nobody had seen for 1,000 years. They uncovered these incredibly important works that opened up whole new ways of thinking.
And they didn't just, scan them and put them online.
Yeah. No. They used intense critical thinking. For you, that's like finding two different versions of a movie script and having to figure out which one is the original, most accurate version by comparing all the evidence.
That's a lot of work.
A huge amount. They were applying reason and careful observation to learning itself.
And that new focus on observation, it didn't stay in the library, did it? It started showing up in the real world.
Immediately. The most obvious place is art. Artists just stopped painting people who looked, flat and symbolic.
And started making them look real.
Incredibly realistic. They wanted to capture the human body perfectly. Artists like Leonardo da Vinci actually studied anatomy, muscles, bones, to understand how the body works.
So they were part scientist, part artist.
In a way, yes. And paintings started showing everyday people, natural landscapes. They were celebrating the here and now.
And you see it in the buildings, too.
Oh, definitely. Architecture became all about balance, symmetry, using math to create harmony. They were inspired by ancient Roman temples. You see the columns, the big domes coming back.
It's like they were saying the human mind can create perfect order.
That's a great way to put it. And that obsession with accuracy and observation completely revolutionized science.
Okay, so how?
Well, instead of just reading what some ancient philosopher wrote about the stars, the humanist approach was to go out and look for yourself. The new rule was observation and experiments.
So test your ideas.
You had to. People stopped relying on old legends just because they were old. This is where you see breakthroughs in astronomy, in anatomy, in botany.
They were actually measuring things, tracking planets, gathering data.
Yes. And if the new data contradicted the old beliefs, well, the old beliefs had to go. This is the foundation of the scientific method.
And it led to new tools, I assume.
Of course. The need to see clearly led to things like the telescope and the microscope. It's this belief that the universe is governed by laws that we as humans can actually understand.
At the same time, the way people shared all these new ideas was also changing.
Massively. Before humanism, almost every serious book was written in Latin.
Which almost no one could read.
Exactly. So knowledge was basically locked away. Humanists started writing in the vernacular.
The vernacular.
It just means the local, everyday language people actually spoke. Italian, English, German.
And that meant anyone could read these new ideas.
It was huge. Authors could reach a massive new audience, and they wrote about things everyone could relate to. Love, loss, daily life. It actually helped more people learn to read.
So all this personal development, it started to expand into the community, right?
Yes, and that's where you get civic humanism. This was the idea that, hey, your education, your talents, they aren't just for you.
You have a responsibility to help society.
You do. Being a good, active citizen was just as important as being a good student. It's why you might join a student council today. You're using your skills for the common good.
Now, what about religion? Did this focus on humans push faith aside?
Not necessarily. Many humanists were very religious, but they applied that same critical thinking to their faith. They started studying the Bible in its original languages, Greek and Hebrew.
To get a more direct understanding?
A more personal one, yeah. And that sometimes led them to question certain church practices that they couldn't find in the original texts. It set the stage for big changes.
But none of this, the art, the science, the new ideas, would have spread so far, so fast, without one key invention.
The ultimate game changer, the printing press.
Before that, making a book was an insane amount of work.
Think about it this way. A single handwritten Bible could cost as much as a house. The printing press meant you could make hundreds of copies quickly and cheaply.
So books became affordable for the first time.
For the first time ever. And the result was explosive. Ideas just shot across borders. It became almost impossible for anyone to control the flow of information. The fire spread.
And that legacy, it didn't just stay in Europe.
Now, as these nations began to explore, those humanist values, curiosity, individual worth, they spread globally. Our modern legal systems, the whole idea of human rights is deeply influenced by this.
Even democracy, right? The idea that people should have a say in their own government.
It all connects back. Even the way your school is set up, making you study science and history and art. That's the humanist ideal of creating a well-rounded person.
So the principles are still alive. When we celebrate a scientific discovery or a beautiful piece of art, we're really celebrating humanism.
We are. It's the belief that we have the potential to solve big problems, to build a better future.
Humanism really gave people the confidence to look at the world, ask these huge transformative questions, and actually believe in their own ability to achieve great things.
And that influence continues. It shapes our belief that knowledge, when you apply it with reason and ethics, can create a world of endless potential for everyone.
Keep studying, keep observing, and keep asking questions. See you next time.